Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'll start again I'll start again because I don't know where I stopped the last time. So I'll just start again in general. Because we must always touch on history, small, before we move on. The military institutions in Africa are not built for revolution. They are the most reactionary group, and they are armed to the teeth. The most reactionary group in Africa is the African military. There's no African military, there's no country in Africa where the military is not immensely corrupt. In fact, any corruption where politicians learn, now military men, now teach them. I repeat, this Africa we will do so. Any corruption where politicians, civilians of Africa learn, now military men. See, first of all, when they hear Lord Lugard, all these people will come for our shores, where they be colonial, they were also military men. They were holding both military and civilian positions. The governor general, all those things were military positions. They were basically the commander-in-chief of Nigeria. Now Lord Lugard them, and they teach all these our politicians, the first republic politicians, the meaning of corruption, and they teach them. The people who turn to army, the people who become military of Nigeria, where they pick to turn to Hausa boys, West African Frontier Force, all these militias, where they gather to turn to military for our country, they were the first criminals in Africa, the first open criminals. The military institution in Africa was the first open criminal institution in Africa. Used to kidnap other Africans. These men were those that kidnapped other Africans for Europeans. Those that made sure that Africans worked in the mines, went to tap rubber. How do you think Oyibo was killing so many people in Africa? Do you think it's Oyibo that was coming to do it by themselves? They picked the evil ones among us and made them the military. The criminal-minded Africans have always been empowered by the word military in Africa. And the thing they pay me, say, we don't know our history, man. The thing they pay me, say, as African people, we know nothing about who we are. We know nothing about where we are coming from. So how can we know where we are going? How can we know where we are going? The most corrupt, wicked of institutions. Please go and check your history as African people. Please go back and just look at your history. So when you see all these crowds of African people on the streets jumping up and down, the mob, the ignorant mob, hailing their own destruction, go and look at what happened when Achampong and what's his bastard name? That second Afrifa, that was his name. Bastard man, Afrifa, and then Achampong. When they overthrew the government of Nkrumah. Now so Africans dey for street, they jubilate, say military don't come free them from tough government. Now they were not, Nkrumah was not corrupt though. Their complaint was that Nkrumah is too tough. I never seen this kind of thing before. Wait, una don't craze for Africa here, meeting the Afro. What is going on? Are we going mad here? The Africans were jubilating on the streets. What do you think planned all that? What do you think is happening? Do you think all these people on the street are just there jumping up and down because it's their free will? This is all planned by the CIA. Go and look at Iran. Iran today, and this is what will happen to us in Nigeria, the best that will happen is that the military continue. Then the worst that will happen is that we will now have religious extremists based on religious ideology, then you can defeat the military, and that will be the worst. We will not be like Iran, a free country under religious domination. Hey, Islamic religious. Oh, bele, oh, bele. You people want to take 500 steps backward. You people want to go and look at when CIA toppled the government of Mossadegh. Go and look at when CIA toppled the government of Lumumba. Africans were on the streets jubilating. But is it all the Africans that were on the streets? No, they just need a few thousand. And you can find 2,000, 3,000 Africans anywhere, hungry, ready to be on the street and jubilate. Even for Nigeria, these fucking politicians who we hate, they do fucking campaigns, and the stadium is, well, it's not full like Malema, but you see crowd. They will mobilize crowd with money because they are always hungry Africans willing to collect money and just show up. What do you know about what's going on? I'm reading this book right now, The Devil's Chessboard. Allen Dulles, the CIA, and the rise of the American secret government. Do you know how much they plan and replan, and where you don't believe they are coming from, they are there. Do you think these imperialists are joking? They are shouting Putin, Putin, Russia. Has Putin given his own people freedom? Are the people of Russia free? That you are hoping that he will come and give you freedom in Africa? Putin is an oligarch. Because Putin is an enemy of America doesn't automatically make Putin your friend. Whether you like it or not, Putin is white. And Putin wants white supremacy, whether he likes it or not. Putin is a capitalist. What has Putin done all these years that Africans have been suffering? That he has been in government controlling Russia for over 20 years. It is now that him and America are fighting that he knows that he wants to help African people. And you think stupidly that the enemy, you know these stupid capitalist things that they teach you in your school and on the streets, that you say to yourself that make you think you are smart. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That kind of saying only makes sense if the enemy of your enemy and you are on the same level. If your enemy is more powerful than you, and the friend that you want to make too is more powerful than you, you will be nothing but the scapegoat when they decide to settle, or when the fight is over. Now you they will take do scapegoat because you are not on the same level. So when Africans are saying the enemy of my enemy is my friend, Putin is enemy of America, so Putin wants to help Africa, you are stupid. Oh my God. Incredibly daft to even think that. You're incredibly daft. I'm sorry to say. Which institution in Africa protects this corruption that we're talking about? What will happen if the military in Nigeria, for example, or in that Niger, says to the civil society that we will back you, go and take government from these people. We, the military, will be behind you. Oh yeah, go. Why are they not behind the people? Why is it that it is the military that, it's like you have a bully. You have somebody that is bullying you. And this bully has a friend that assists this bully in bullying you all your life. So that they beat you together. One day, one can say, he won't fight the other one that because of you. You say, please fight him. Now you, Biko, you are the best bully. Are you mad? All this noise about coup in Africa, we are praising coup plotters. First of all, no dishonorable man can bring honor to his people. I repeat, no dishonorable man can bring honor to his people. If you're in the military and then you betray the oath that you have already sworn, the oath that nobody forced you, nobody put gun for your head. Now you look the country, say, what I won't do, be say, I'm going to join the military. And when you decide to join the military, your job, you've taken an oath, is to defend. Your job is no longer to take power. You have removed yourself. The military must be apolitical. It is a political institution that must remain apolitical, meaning that your political participation is to defend the outcome of civilian decision. Your job is to defend the outcome. Your only political participation as a military person is to defend the outcome of civilian decisions. You have removed yourself from that decision-making process. You willingly decided to defend your country. Now, you people are making noise as if African military is the same as European military or European police. If they treat you, see, have you seen the way American, UK military, police, have you seen the way they treat their white people? Have you seen the way the military of UK treats UK people? I lived in the UK. I never saw a military man in my life while I was there. I never see them for I don't even know say UK get military. Now for news I dey see am. I don't see one army man, I swear. Now only now I don't go for airport. I go see them, they travel, I see them now for airport sometimes. I never see army man, they walk out for street for UK before. Maybe I did not live long enough in the UK. Apart from black people, I not just know they happen to Europeans, but I know see police harass white man before when I was living in the UK. In fact, when I go to the exclusively white neighborhood, where there are white people food there, I know they even see police. Have you seen the relationship between the military of Europe and their people? Is that the same relationship you have with your own military? Is that the same relationship? Is that the same relationship you have? Now this, okay, let me use Nigeria again. Because now I did. Buratai, who is the former chief of army defense staff in Nigeria, can you mention how much he stole in this country? Can you say it out? How dare any military government, any military institution, any military man stand up to say he wants to fight against corruption when it is the military in Africa, gone, that is the backbone of corruption? Go and look in all the oil companies. Who people are running it? Abdul Salami Abubakar of Nigeria, IBB of Nigeria, Abacha family, Obasanjo of Nigeria, Buhari. Where are these? Which institution created this men? Which institution did they come out from? The T.Y. Danjuma that tied his fellow military man to his own commander-in-chief, tied him to military and drove him round the whole fucking place, or dragged him to death. Is that? Are these the men that you are looking at? Military men that will not even let you wear camouflage. Africans, in fact, Africans are the only ones. We can't even wear, so there's no solidarity. You can't even wear camouflage one day and walk on the street, say, oh, I'm feeling military today, let me show support. They will beat you and take the cloth from you. How can you now imagine in your mind that such a group of people has anything positive? Listen, Africa does not make arms. Africa does not make weapons. We don't make anything involved in any kind of warfare. So when they hear Ecowas puppets say they want to go to war, and you hear the Niger puppets say they are ready to go to war, suddenly everybody has lined up for war in Africa. These people that don't have money to feed their children. Our country just removed subsidy. Burkina Faso is hungry. Russia is dashing them food. The Burkina Faso coup plotter, that one go Russia say he want nuclear plant. So these people are stupid. We too are stupid with them. I swear that when they talk it, I need people to go and look for the video. When that Burkina Faso boy talks saying he want nuclear plant, Putin, there was a wry smile. The smile, you must be watching for that smile to see it. Putin's smile, walk eyes, soft smile. He can't write something for paper. I swear that just say he writes it. This one a bad man. We really lay you. Putin give him 10,000 tons of grain. Now grain, Putin give him 10,000 tons. Say, go and chop. Hungry like the cash you. Go and give the people food first. Go and chop. I don't die. Is this where we are? Motherfucker say you want nuclear. I say you need to see the way he put his smile. Gently say really. He can't write that say we yo. Oh my God. Africans. Instead the guy say go and chop. Exactly. Lord Jerry, go and eat. When your stomach is full, let's talk again. First go chop. Yeah. You know, a hungry man is an angry man. Go and chop. First. Hey. Now, African governments all of them don't line up for war. Ready to fight. Where will they see the guns from? Will Putin give them gun for free and bomb for free? The people that say that they want Africa to be sovereign, Africa for African people. We are tired of being under France. We are tired of being under this one. You are going under Russia. Is that the way to go? Enemy of my enemy is my friend. Is that even the right people to go and help Africa negotiate? The same people that have been protecting the corruption of Africa. Imagine, that's why Nigerians too can fall for somebody like Peter Obi. I can't lie. Because I know we are ready for military too. Anybody that just anybody just, hey, regardless of what this person has done in the system that you are complaining about, how this person has engaged and uplifted and supported and protected this system. Russia is, somebody here say Russia is better, we can't do it alone. This is what, you don't know your history. Go and look at Lumumba and how Russia abandoned him. The Soviet Union, they were stronger than this that time. The only country in this world that has gone out of its way to send its military to defend and protect the rights of African people is the Cuban military. Only the Cuban military has come to us to give us aid at a time where everybody turned their back on us. The Cubans came. And you know why the Cubans were able to come? Because they were a people military. They were a militia that became the military. So I'm telling you, armed down. If there's armed struggle from the people, yes, I will join that armed struggle. But any struggle coming from the military institutions of Nigeria, are you people not seeing what is going on in Congo? Are you not looking at what happened in the Congo and what is still going on in the Congo? What can any military man in Africa tell you? The military in Africa that they protect us of this corruption going on. Go and show me any general in Africa that is not living well above the means of his people. As I said to you yesterday when I did my life, all these military men, as soon as they take over, where did they move to? They move to the same buildings that those corrupt people are staying. Meaning that they are not there to change anything. They just want to replace the people that are there. They are not efficient enough. And let me tell you why military is happening all over Africa. Because nothing no get sense to understand. The military is taking over all over Africa because you are waking up. I know you are not fully awake, but African people, you are beginning to wake up. You are beginning to see left from right. You understand? The movement of that's been brewing in Nigeria, for example, NSAS. You think they didn't see NSAS? You think they did not see obedient movement? Even though people were lining up behind, because they now imagine if these same people that line up in obedient movement now had sense to line up in a real revolutionary way. They know that their time is up. All of them, they know that their time is up. That in 1 or 2 election cycles, African people will begin to understand their position and they'll start losing power. Do you think Tinubu is fighting the people in Niger? Do you think anybody in Ecowas is fighting themselves? Do you think so? Do you think anybody is fighting themselves? Is it Nigeria that has not been able to beat Boko Haram in his own backyard? That has not been able to bring peace to the people of his own Mediguri and Borno, of Borno, of Yola? They are the ones that want to go and bring peace in Niger. Do you think that is what they are about? Do you think these men are fighting themselves? This is planned. You are hailing your own silence, your own silencing. You are jubilating your own silencing, because all the military will do is to silence you. Finish. That's what they want to bring them for. And I've told you, is to make sure that Africans do not participate in the new negotiations for the new green industrial revolution that is about to take place all over the world. That we are not going to be part and parcel of the negotiation of ourselves. That it is these, they are monsters. You think Europe hate Abacha? Everybody shouting Abacha, Abacha. As wicked as Abacha was, do you think America and Europe hated him? Where was all his money? Where was all his money, all his houses? Where did they say, oh, we hate Abacha, we will not collect your money? You cannot save your stolen money here. We hate Abacha, you cannot buy a house in our country. You are a corrupt man. Look at Desani living large in the UK right now in our own, in this our own time. You think there's any real fight happening in that level that people think that there are, one people say Ecowas is a Western puppet, Burkina Faso ready to fight war. Which war can Burkina Faso fight? Which war can Mali fight? Mali is a country that cannot remove Boko Haram, terrorists from it. What war can they fight? This is just a way to now legitimately give your resources to their organ. Put it down, hook some boys. When they deliver gun, how will they pay for it? When they deliver bomb, how will they pay for it? How will they pay for it? Is it not from the same resources that they say it must not be touched? It's for African people. They say, okay, come and take oil, come and take uranium, come and take gold, come and they give us gun to kill African people. Give us plane and this is to kill African people. Somebody say Abacha loot is a scam because it can never be a scam. I know it's not a scam because me, I know they forget things. I know be like Una. Obasanjo locked up Abacha's son. That was not really for justice. He held him for ransom to collect his own share of Abacha money. How much did Abacha's son return that time? 1.5 billion or something. Dollar that time. Like 2001. Mohammed Abacha. He was in prison with they arrested him and this person together and Mustafa. But Mohammed Abacha was kidnapped. He was able to return over 1 billion by himself, one single Abacha's son. And you're not telling me that Abacha's loot is a scam. You are asking this, people are just dumb. And nobody can tell me anything. It is, and not because you are dumb, because you cannot know. Because I'm an African. I know our capacity. I know that we know the things we want to know. Or the name of the designer. In fact, when you see one Gucci from 200 yards away, you can tell whether it's real. You know the price. You know when they made it. You know what year they made it. You know when it came into the market. You know when it came out of production. I want to compare. I want to Beyonce birthday. This one, who this one is dating? Who that one is? Yes. Yes, but you refuse. This is willful ignorance. This is what Amos Wilson called it. We have willed ourselves to be ignorant. Willfully, we decide, we hate. I had the person that was very close to me before. No kind book where I will give this person to open your eyes. Say, read this book. It's not even big. Never, willfully. They rather read the whole fiction novels of this world, 1 million fiction novels, that to read the reality that is governing their lives. They want to be willfully ignorant so that they can say, I did not know. I did not, you understand? But they know inside, they know inside that they should know. But they, should we talk about the racism of Russians? I know they say Americans are racist, but have you tried Russian flavor? Have you tried Russian flavor racism before? Oh, bele, oh. You people are stupid. Anybody that is saying Putin, you don't know what it means to be African. You don't know what it means to be African. You don't know what it means to be black. We talk about Oyibo racism. Have you tasted Arab racism? Have you tasted Arab racism? Have you tasted it? It's only European racism that you have tasted or you know about. Have you tasted Arabic racism? Have you tasted Russian? Have you tasted Chinese racism, Asian racism, Indian racism? Somebody say not all Russians are racist. Just the way not all Americans or all Europeans are racist. But their system is racist. The system that governs them is racist. You cannot deny that. You cannot deny that. Me, I've tasted all these different flavors of racism. I'm the same one that cancelled my show in Morocco last year. The way I still believe, say, where were the African leaders when Morocco killed 124 African people last last summer, because they were trying to cross border into Spain, open fire and kill over 124 of them? Which African leader stood up to say, Morocco, we are putting no-fly zone, Morocco this, Morocco that? How many of them said anything against Morocco? Instead, our president was flying there to do meeting with Morocco. All of you are going to Fez, and they look everybody Instagram every day. Everybody going to spend their money in that country. Until they apologize, I can never go back to Morocco. Until they issue apology to the sub-Saharan African people. But when your leaders too are expert at killing you people don't see those things. You don't feel those things. For you, it is nothing. It can never be me. I can never be trying to cross border because you are not poor enough to experience that kind of life. So they kill 124 African people, and they still have Nigerians. Most of those people are Nigerians, so we still have Nigerians going to Marrakesh. Going to Marrakesh to go and show that they are big man. People that don't like you. People that hate you to the core of their bone. Oh God. Now, the only thing the military that you are praying for can do for you when they come, and what they will do, is to silence your punk ass up. Is to do what? Silence your punk ass up. All this agitation that you have been agitating. All this way that you have been behaving, thinking that you want to enlighten. Now don't they get show where Abi? Seun Kuti don't they form MOP Abi? They don't say I go organize Abi? They don't say I go collect in our country Abi? Or more, they will. Military, go and listen to the rhetoric. Do you know what I told you people yesterday? I beg more go hear ODOO. Go and listen to ODOO. Overtake, don't. Fela is too much. Fela is too much. The kind title with Fela they give music and they let work. Fela say that overtake, don't overtake, overtake. Overtake as overtaking, overtake. Overtake, don't overtake, overtake. That's when they want to talk, when they want to call, when they want to talk, when they want to call. Nigerian government, they give a name, federal military government, federal military government. For Libya, them give a name, Liberation Council, Liberation Council. For Zaire, them give a name, Redemption Council, Redemption Council. Imagine somebody like Mobutu Sese Seko saying that he's the head of Redemption Council. That's how our fathers fared. They were labeling Lumumba as a stooge of the Soviets. There's a Soviet stooge. He's working for Soviet. They are the real African people. Mobutu had more Pan-Africanist rhetoric than Lumumba himself. We Africans that have not questioned our military to find where their alliances truly lie, where their allegiances truly lie, and what they want to align with. We sit down and we allow them that they want to do a revolution revolution can never be done on behalf of the people. Revolution is done with the people. You cannot do revolution on our behalf. You have to do this is the reason why I have rift with Showore. Why am I as Seun Kuti? Why I not there for AAC? What you know AAC? Because AAC last 4 years ago were trying to carry out revolution on behalf, and I told them there's no way you can do revolution on behalf of the people. Revolution, you can't do revolution on behalf of the people. You can't do revolution for the people. Revolution is only with the people. The army must have come out to liaise with the people, to publicly denounce the corruption and say that they want to be with the people. The army, we are with you. What do you want us to do? What do you want to do politically? We will support you. We will protect you. We will make sure that no harm, no evil befalls you as you carry out this movement. No, they didn't say that. All of you, 200 million, you are too stupid. It is we, this military, that will tell you what. Oh my God. Africans. Is this where we are? Is this where we are? Falling for these criminals. I said, tell me, who after these politicians, who is more criminal than your police and army? Who is more criminal? Which institution in Nigeria, in Africa, in Niger, in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Guinea, in Ghana, after the political class, who are the most corrupt people if it's not the military and security agency class? Who? Who is more corrupt? Then, the last and final point. Your own madness. Your own inability. Your madness yourself. People will be saying they never dey power. They wipe your brain every day. Like say, they wipe your head. Wipe you. Any small thing beat you, any small thing drag you, embarrass fathers in front of their children, embarrass children in front of their parents, embarrass husbands in front of their wives, slapping grown people all over the place. And if you refuse to take their slap, they throw you in jail. Are those the ones that will come and liberate you from suffering? Are those the ones that will come and liberate you from suffering? Is that the way European army treats their own people? Is that the way European police treats white people? American police, is that the way they treat white people? Is that the way they treat their army? Is that the way their army treats their people? Have you ever seen video of an army man beating a European, a UK army, American army, beating one of their civilians before in your whole life? Have you ever seen a video like that? You are shouting at these military thieves, opportunists. Because you are all following opportunists. Gone opportunists now, they follow for Nigeria too now. So I want to see an opportunist like a betrayal, like all these military coup plotters. And now, why won't you say you have seen hero when you are all also opportunists in waiting, oppressors in waiting? Now it's the military that is carrying the poor people on the street. Poor people are running behind the military. Look at what they are doing in South Africa. Shame on all of you. The poor people are being carried along by Malema. They have organized themselves, aligned with the professionals that want to move their country forward. Aligned with the professionals that want to move their country forward. Because those professionals have built the bridge to the poor. They know that the poor Africans can never afford to organize themselves. So what do? They use their own hard-earned money. They use their own sweat and energy to build the bridge to them. And through that bridge that they've built together, they want to walk to victory. Instead of being able to politicize yourselves. Build a bridge to your people is a lie. It's not to be calling to the elites to come and bless you with contract. All of you are looking for. You leave your people stranded in the wind, stranded in the desert of hunger. You leave them there in the bank, laundering money, in schools, collecting bribe to give grade, chasing small girls as lecturers, engineers, constructing building that is crashing, helping the elite to siphon money. Is that not all of you want to do? They don't give you one contract to supply, to bid, to do this. You are now better than the poor people of Nigeria. That's not what all of you do. So because of your laziness now, you want to bamboozle the people again. Let me now tell you the last one before I go. All of you that think that military is going to come to Nigeria and bring justice, you are even more stupid than those that think that military are not corrupt. So what are they going to do? Let's even say, so far now, in all these countries that military has taken over, how many of the presidents that or the politicians that caused that have been killed or jailed? What have they done to anybody? Whose money has been? Which of those people's children are now living in Burkina Faso, in Guinea, in Mali? All those people that destroyed those countries for many years. How many of their family are not enjoying the money now that this military have entered and suddenly they've taken everything? What have they done to them? These are the same people that they will use again to continue their oppression. The CEOs of the banks will be there to bank for them as they've been doing. The engineers will be there to engineer for them as they've been doing. The lecturers will be there to lecture for them as they've been doing. The lawyers will be there to defend them as they've been doing. What do you think is going to change? Anyway, as I said in the beginning, anybody with a call for military coup for Africa, and anybody supporting any military coup in Africa is a dumbass. It's a dumbass, dumbass. And I see that mostly those Africans that have run away from Africa. It's mostly those Africans that have run away. They don't jack back from Africa. Go, they use their talents. Sit down for Igbo land. They help Igbo. They do everything. They are the ones that are not sitting down. People that have abandoned their calling, abandoned their own homeland. They are there applauding because they are not the ones that will leave all that military room. They already know that they've secured their new address. That's what they will take there every time. They push nonsense on African people when they no go experience. Oh man, so funny. Oh my God. And all this is based on selfish interest. I'm telling you, personal selfish interest. Anyway, there's no war in Africa. All these ultimatums, all these, how will I put it? All the ultimatum, all these Oyibo government chicken boys are giving themselves left, right, and center. Both the one that did cool, both the one that is Ecowas. So all these ultimatum you are giving yourself, shut up. All of you go and find diplomatic solution. Go and find diplomatic, because your people are hungry. You want to fight war when you've not given people food to eat. You want to fight war when you've not given people food to eat. Please, I suggest that you go and do a meeting. A diplomatic meeting. And find solution. Find new sharing formula. Cannot not sharing formula but that be the problem here. It's sharing formula that is the problem. That's all. The sharing formula. You know, it's sharing formula. Once the military men feel that the sharing don't reach their place enough. Go and look at Nigerian budget. The budget for the military in Nigeria is higher than the budget for education. It's higher than the budget for housing. It's higher than the budget for healthcare. Go and look at the defense. Look at our budget in Nigeria. Go and look at it. The budget for defense in Nigeria is higher than the one for education, for healthcare, for transportation, for road. For it is higher. So sharing formula pay the ones for Nigeria now.